Amazon restricts public reviews of Meghan and Harry's biography after noticing, quote, unusual activity. To the Daily Mail, when fans of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex noticed an inordinate number of negative reviews under the book, they took to social media to call on fellow Sussex squad supporters to bump up their star rating. I don't know if that sounds completely kosher. Attempts to review Finding Freedom, written by royal reporters Omid Scobie and Carolyn Durand, are now met with this message, quote, Amazon has noticed unusual reviewing activity on this product. Due to this activity, we have limited this product to verified purchase reviews. So if you've not purchased the book, apparently you can still review it. So now they're deleting all of the non-verified, non-purchase reviews. Fans were reportedly responding to one-star reviews, calling the book a puff piece, many of which were posted on the day the book was published on August 11th. Okay, that's kind of they're saying that in Meghan and Harry's favor. One Twitter fan of the couple also informed their followers, quote, there is an organized effort to leave bad reviews for Finding Freedom on Amazon and to mark hateful reviews as helpful so they appear first. An organized effort. Who's organizing this effort? The Sugars, Meghan Sugars, her fans, they seem quite organized. But the other side does not seem organized. So let's go to Amazon. Here it is. Finding Freedom, Harry and Meghan, the Making of a Modern Royal Family. What's the rating? It's 4 out of 5 stars. 18%, okay, it changed, 19% were 1-star reviews. So between 1 and 2-star reviews, which are really subpar, it's 24%. Almost 1/4 of the reviews are like, this book is not worth reading, okay? And so 76% are above 3 stars. 3 stars or above. Let's take a look at the ratings. And here's the top ratings for this book, okay? And you can see here a full 24%, almost 25% are below 3 stars. First review. And these are the top reviews. Skip it. This book is so terribly written, it sounds like one of them wrote it themselves. I actually did a reading on this, and I concluded that Meghan herself wrote it. That's what she was writing while she was in the palace. Quote, the narrative has them perfectly crafted into these flawless human beings, going so far as to imply that they didn't hook up on the first date. I covered both of those things. No kiss on the first date. I think they went straight to the bedroom. They're flawless. Everything, it's a 5-star review of a human being. She peed in the woods, 5 stars. Okay, quote, I think the public is beyond that at this point. If it was so, quote, real, why not show some of the grittier stuff as well? Either they wrote it themselves or they paid the two that did very handsomely, Scobie and Durand. Everything about it rings insincere and hollow and will most likely polarize and vilify them even further. Most highly disappointing because I'm sure they actually are very kind, genuine, sincere people, but this book did nothing for their cause, in my opinion. Shame. Top review number 2, such nonsense. This is the worst book ever. Obviously, Harry and Meghan wrote this book. It's interesting that everybody believes Harry and Meghan wrote this book. I personally believe Meghan wrote this book and not Harry, because Meghan is also throwing Harry under the bus. I bought it out of curiosity. Sorry I wasted my money, but it made me aware of 2 middle-aged people who have no understanding of struggling people today. They're eager for attention, but have nothing to offer. Feel bad for Prince Charles and Prince William that they will have these 2 parasites on their backs for life. Number 3, nothing new. If you followed news stories on the couple, you have no need to read this book. Basically repeated news stories. Number 4, just a puff piece, written as if fictional instead of a documentary. All positive for Meghan and Harry and negative for anyone else. All positive for Meghan, not even necessarily positive for Harry. There are always 2 sides to every story, and this one is fiction and one-sided. Meghan blames everyone else for anything going on. She won't take responsibility for anything. And she also blames Harry. Cruel. In the beginning, I was impressed at how poised and lovely Meghan is. As time went on, she seemed to want all the spotlight, taking all the air out of the room. Yes, she does not come across as mixed race, and if she was criticized, it was for her behavior and not for her race. Many of the facts in the book seem spurious and one-sided. This is a cruel tell-all book about two very spoiled royals lacking in compassion who want to do both of their families great harm. They claim ignorance about how the authors knew such trivial and mean details. Exactly. How would Scobie and Durand know any of this? They even go into Harry's head, what Harry is thinking. Come on. They come across as whiny and envious and seem to lack compassion for all members of both of their families. Why didn't they get on a plane to check on her father? They also come across as arrogant and hypocritical. For two people who left the royal family for privacy, their PR team seems to have a puff piece out about them every couple of days. How about every day? If they were sincere, they could fold into the shadows and get on with their lives. Many famous people know how to be out of the spotlight. The fact that authors started writing this book 2 years ago makes you know that it's a setup written for money and publicity. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. So the verdict is kind of in on Finding Freedom, and I'm wondering how Meghan feels about it. Does she feel like this is a success, or does she feel like this has harmed public opinion against her and Harry even more? Okay, and how is she feeling about Omid Scobie? She basically said that Omid Scobie wrote it, and just reading the reviews, literally no one believes that Omid Scobie wrote it. They believe that Meghan and Harry wrote it, or Meghan herself wrote it. I actually believe that Meghan wrote it because it just sounds like Meghan. And she started writing it the minute she got into the palace, which is very disturbing, okay? Meghan is someone who's always planning for the future. She's always planning. And this is like a burn book, okay? Step by step, she's, you know, recording how nothing is her fault and how everyone else is to blame. Does that change the future? Yeah. She was writing this book, planning her exit the day she got into the palace. That's a self-fulfilling prophecy. She created this problem. She did a million, billion, trillion things to create the problems that finally resulted in her fleeing England very suddenly and leaving the royal family. So, I don't know. She should realize this. You have to commit. She needed to commit to Harry, to being married. She needed to commit to being a duchess. She needed to commit to being a royal family member. And she was always hedging her bets. And this is a perfect example of her hedging her bet, you know, and, you know, writing a burn book. So how does she feel about Finding Freedom now? Does she feel like it's a success, or she's like, wow, this really didn't turn out very well? Oh, 10 spades, boy. What's the devil doing there? Devil wants to show up. How is Meghan feeling about Finding Freedom? Well, right in the center, this is the theme, this is the person. She's devastated. This is the worst possible result. She feels like it's a failure. She feels like it's a failure. And Jacob's ladder, going forward in life in front of all the people, 11, 21, 6 hearts. She feels like it's a miserable failure. Yeah, for her path in life, in the public sphere and the relationships. It's just very heavy. Hamster wheel is the work card, the travel overseas card, the long journey card. Her journey is just very heavy right now. She's just working really hard. I think she really did score a big plus by getting involved with Michelle Obama, because Michelle Obama is such an important person, especially in politics, and she's politically involved with Michelle Obama. But that's causing a lot of problems for her. So what do we have in the outcome? So no matter what she's doing, it's just got a taint on it, and people are really, really criticizing. So we have 3 very positive cards and 3 very negative cards. We have Star Bethlehem, angel and man. Direct action to look like an angel, you know, on her path. Nothing is her fault. She just wants to look like an angel. She's perfect. This book, Finding Freedom, I call it a 5-star review of a human being. That human being is Meghan Markle. The next 3 cards are Executioner, Coffin, and Devil. Devil will do anything. Devil will lie to you. It's very systematically lying and keeping the secrets in the box. So people feel like this is just a work of fiction. So she very directly wrote this book to cast herself in the best light. She's an angel. She's perfect. I mean, she even pees outside. And like I shared, I only know one woman who pees outside, who in my whole life, I hiked for 10 years. Now I have a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, well, I pee outside. Okay. I don't doubt you, but I've met a lot of people, and I only ever met one woman who peed outside. So this didn't turn out. It didn't turn out. It backfired on her. So she's not happy about it. She is not happy. Let's look at Meghan and Omid, because she blames everybody. Okay, officially this is Omid's book. Omid and Carolyn Durant. Officially, Omid did not interview Meghan. There was no interviews, but yet it's so detailed. It's so intimate. He's in her head. He's in his head. It really reads like a young girl's personal account. Her personal journey of meeting and dating Harry, their first date. We didn't even kiss. I read on that. I don't believe that. I believe that she's like Svengali in the bed. And I think that's a big part of her allure, that she is so skilled in the bedroom. But in Finding Freedom, there's this whole thing about how they didn't even kiss on the first date. Okay, that's a fantasized version. And maybe is not appropriate for a biography allegedly written by a third party who should give you the good and the bad and the right and the wrong. And people are people. They have good qualities and they have faults and foibles and they have peculiarities. And everyone I've ever met at the top is a very unique and peculiar person. And if they weren't so successful, people who are successful are very peculiar. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So let's look at Meghan and Omid. How's their relationship? Is she like, oh, that guy Omid, now I'm going to blame him? Okay, Meghan, Omid. Because, he's the guy who does everything she says. He is her mouthpiece in the media. The relationship, Meghan and Omid. Well, we got the broken relationship here. Very publicly, solid, very solid, and this adds 6 2 diamonds. So we have a good 2, we have 2 diamonds, which is diamond ring, and we have the broken chalice. Right now, he's not her favorite person. Okay, but the foundation is solid, and they're still very connected, and he's working for Meghan constantly. He's doing all the he's doing all the interviews for the book to pump the book. So I'd say it's going, there's a bump in the road. She's very devastated about how the book is turning out, how the press on the book and what people feel. And I read you the top reviews. All of the top reviews are negative, and I have trouble believing that there's any kind of organized effort, because I'm not aware of this. I am very involved in this area, and I think I would know if there was an organized group of people doing these things. There very is clearly an organized group of people who are for Meghan, and they dox people, and they post terrible comments, and they dislike videos, and they try to get people deplatformed. That is an organized effort on Meghan and Harry's side. But I'm not aware of an organized effort against Meghan. I really am not. And I should know. What's going on here with Omid? finger of God, heart, good intentions, Mercury. He's 17, 5 hearts. He's doing everything for, it's all red on his side. He's doing everything for Meghan. Meghan does realize what an asset he is and what an asset he has been. She's a little upset at him right now, but it's all good. And the relationship is still solid. So there's a little bump there. I mean, he's not her favorite person right now. He is acting like he's not aware of it. Yeah, so Meghan is feeling very disappointed. Has the book further turned public opinion against Meghan and Harry? Okay, so her perception is that, wow, this really didn't turn out the way she wanted it. But is it true? Has the book really actually turned public perception against Meghan and Harry further? Because if you read those reviews, it kind of looks like it. I mean, they're saying fluff piece. They're saying obviously Meghan wrote it. It's fiction. That's what people said. So has this book actually turned public opinion further away from Meghan and Harry? Is that a reality? Is it reality? Inheritance, very solid foundation. The most solid cards are Inheritance and 7 Clubs, the Cross. Officially very solid. Big change in the middle. 19, 5 Clubs. It is changing. Everything is everything. Everything affects everything. This book this book is putting things on a different path. 5 Clubs. So public perception is still solid again with Meghan and Harry. It's still very solid. Officially very solid. Okay, but it's changing. What's underneath? Very emotional. Always gets the 10 hearts. Always gets the devil. There's the devil. There's the 10 hearts. Always gets these cards. It's all a very emotional narrative. Very beautiful appearance. Very emotional narrative. For the mother or in the situation, 22, 25, 7 hearts. So underneath, it's the emotional narrative. People understand that this is not a factual account, that it's an emotional narrative. It's an emotional narrative. It's what she wants it to be. People have not changed. Public perception is changing, but it's slow to change. It's a large beast. It's a lot of people. It's a big animal. And finally, Meghan and Harry are in California. Is Meghan currently shopping this book for a movie? Are there any interest? Is there interest in a movie deal? Because I've written a couple of books, okay, and there's very little money in books, okay? Unless you have a huge monster bestseller, there's not real good money in it. Whereas a movie, you multiply that times 20 or 200, the amount of money that you're going to receive from a hit book that turns into a movie. The real money is in the movie. There's a lot of money in movies. So is Meghan shopping the movie version of the book? Is there interest? Let's take a look at that. Shopping the movie. Meghan shopping the movie. Sun is success and very bright. Fox, very cleverly, to the world, 19, 9, and 12, 21, 6 hearts. She is shopping it among those she knows. She is making inquiries. Fox is a business card, a great business card. She does want to do this and get it out to the whole world as a movie. Interesting. But this story's not over. You know, she was a royal just a very short time, and now they're finding freedom in California. The story is not written. Maybe it's preliminary. And a movie takes a year to make. Okay, it takes at least a year to make, maybe 3 years to make. So in 3 years, where are they going to be in 3 years? I think Harry and Meghan will be divorced. Wow, that really changes the story. You don't want to make a movie about them together and finding freedom, and then they're divorced by the time the movie comes out. That would be, then your movie, you have to reshoot your whole movie. You have to start over. And that's kind of what would happen. What's underneath? Player, straight razor, and 3 blackbirds. So aces are beginnings. We have 2 aces. Player is acting and talking about acting and getting this done. 12, 15, 4 clubs. She is shopping the movie. I don't see any interest yet. I think it's preliminary. But she's definitely shopping the movie. She's that kind of person. She would be foolish enough to want to actually play the main role. And I think no one would allow her to play Meghan Markle in her own movie. That would be a bad idea because she would have too many opinions about how Meghan Markle should be played, because she literally is Meghan Markle, and she would not be malleable enough as an actress. So that's interesting. All right, so what do we have here? How does Meghan feel about the book? Does she feel like it's a success? She's devastated, and she feels that it has really hurt her. It was just this to make her look like an angel, but wow. This is actually, we have the Jack, we have Jack of Hearts, Jack of Spades, we have King of Hearts, King of Spades, and this is almost a direct mirror. Exactly what she was trying to accomplish, almost the reverse happened. And people feel like, well, this is just not true. She's hiding a bunch of stuff. Okay, it's this Pollyanna, I wish version, and it makes people feel like the truth is being hidden in the coffin. It's really backfired. It's really backfired. How's she feeling about Scobie? Because she blames everybody. Scobie is Mr. Positivity. Okay, he's 100% on her side. She's a little miffed at him, but she realizes that it's not his fault, strangely. So she doesn't take responsibility for anything, but she's mad at him, but she's not really blaming him because she actually wrote the book. He's taken the hit for it. Is the book harming public opinion? Public opinion, interestingly, is still very solid, but it's changing, and people do realize that it's just this very emotional narrative. It's not a truthful narrative. It's not factual. It's not like written by somebody else. It's an emotional narrative, and they're taking it that way, and that's not very impressive. So public opinion is changing. So this polarization that we have all those very negative reviews. We have these people who are die-hard Meghan lovers. And I don't think that applies to Harry, because the moment that Harry and Meghan separate or divorce, those people who love Meghan, they're going to go after Harry to eviscerate him. They're going to say the most horrible things. They're going to call him a bigot, a sexist, and it was all fake and a lie and blah, 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 and he never loved her, and she's the most beautiful person in the world. You know, that's what's going to happen to Harry. All of this positivity, these diehard fans are for Meghan, not Harry. These are not Harry's fans. You know, he's living in an illusion if he thinks those people are his fans, because they're not. They're for Meghan and no one else. And they're not for the royal family. They're just for Meghan. So is Meghan shopping this book as a movie? Yes, but it's really preliminary. Nobody's interested at this point. Nobody's interested. It's just too early. Nobody's interested. But she's shopping it, and she's got that in mind. And that's something that Meghan would do. Probably from before Harry put the ring on her finger, Meghan is thinking of this book and thinking, I'm going to make this into a movie. Because that's Meghan. That's how she does it. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.